Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you have seen my shorts on the Platinum Chou Kuro ink, you know I've been experimenting a lot with it. So I've covered how to ink and wash with it, compare it with Platinum Black, and look at its interaction with tap water. So links are in the description below. Okay, so today I'll be testing it out and weighing in if the ink is worth it or not. As my goal is to test this for ink and wash techniques, I will be conducting all my tests with the fountain pen. So it's the Platinum Preppy fountain pen, and it is nib size 02 or extra fine. I will be using it on Botanic 100% cotton watercolor paper. So let's ink this and let's go and proceed with our tests. It's totally black. A big pro of Chou Kuro is its darkness. So in the first video, I talked about how dark it is. And here's a comparison, side-by-side comparison with the other popular waterproof black inks that's in the market. So this over here is the Platinum Carbon Black. As you can see, it is a bit shiny. There's a bit of sheen in this one. And if we compare this to the Atramantis, this looks like it is not totally black. I think the same goes with the Roller and Klinger's Sketch Ink Lotte Black and the Sailor Kiwa Guro as well. The close contender is actually the Noodler's Bulletproof Black. But as you can see, this is matte black. This one seemed to have a bit of sheen. Chou Kuro does hold up incredibly well. It provides this bold and striking black in comparison to the other waterproof black inks. So how much does this ink cost? So Chou Kuro, I got it in Singapore at a retail store for 79 Singapore dollars, and it's for 60 mils. So how does it compare to the other waterproof inks? As you can see from here, they range between 21.90 cents to 31.80, and their volume range from 50 to 90 mils. This is a con because it is so much more expensive than the other kind of effective, waterproof. You're looking for waterproof black ink. Some people may not be able to afford this amount, like this price for a black ink. Drying time is a very important consideration when we are looking for an ink for ink and wash. That's because we do not want to smudge the inks while we are drawing. Written these and I left them to dry from 0 to 120 seconds. So as you can see, it does smudge if you didn't give it time, right? Of course. And it does not really dry at 5 seconds and 10 seconds. You do see a little bit of smudging at 30 and 60 seconds, but it's minimum. And I was actually using quite a lot of force. For me, I'm actually comfortable with 30 and 60. And of course, at 120 seconds, it definitely has dried and you can actually do whatever you want and it does not smudge at all. So I had also wanted to test the water resistance of this ink, and I'm doing it in two ways. And in this one, it's called the submerge or the soaking test. And what I did here was to have the inks dry for various amount of time, the same drying time as what we have done with the smudging test, and then dropping this into tap water for 5 minutes. I'm not expecting this because I would think that it would correlate with the smudging test. But however, other than 0 seconds where I didn't allow time to dry, there you see substantial ink bleeding and smudging after dropping into the tap water. At 5 and 10, I didn't really see much of it coming out at all. And of course, for the other longer period of drying time, there is definitely nothing. I can safely say that it is water resistant. So if you happen to be writing or drawing with this ink and it rained, right? And it rained on your line drawing, it will not smudge. Don't worry, it will not. Okay. And this one here is the scrubbing test. So it works fairly similar in that I let the ink dry for a varying amount of time, ranging from 30 seconds to 1 hour. Then I run my water brush over it. So I just run a water brush with some water on the tip over it and see if there's any smudging or bleeding. So as you can see from here, it does take a while for the ink to be scrub proof. At 30 seconds and 60 seconds, there is quite a bit of that ink being smudged. You can see a little bit of the ink dissolving. Lines are not as clean. I think it starts to get better, like it gets a bit better after 2 minutes. I don't feel like it is very different after 2 minutes. It does feel about like pretty similar up to 30 minutes. 60 minutes probably the best. I think if you have the luxury of time, if you're so particular about having very clean lines before you wash over, it's best to leave it like for a while. I mentioned in one of my shorts, try not to scrub it too hard and just let the brush pass through once and not go back and like scrub it a few times. I think it's a small con for me because you know how ink and wash is done in urban sketching setting is you will sketch right in ink and then you will wash over it, and if you need to wait a bit, I don't know, it just feels like it's not that immediate and not so good for quick sketches. I'm gonna wash my pen and I'm going to do it at the sink with the tap water. Remember in my shorts, one of my shorts, I shared how tap water would cause some reaction with the Chou Kuro ink. I think I'm just gonna try it because, you know, curiosity kills the cat. So let's go. The pen, after washing in tap water, cap there were some stains come off after a little bit of a scrub. Previously it was totally filled with ink, and then now I think it's kind of wash off. But mind you, it was not dried up, so I'm not sure how it will work on a dried up nib and a dried up feet. So the feet looks kind of clean here. As you can see, I was able to wash off most of the black ink. I think it's not a deal breaker, the fact that they did recommend that you should use the distilled water for cleaning. But if you do not have distilled water, I think it's fine washing it with tap water. It's not a big con for me. But if you have a Mont Blanc or a pen that is like super expensive, and you want to keep it at tip-top condition with no stains and like perfect, then you should keep to the manufacturer's advice. Alright, so is Chou Kuro worth it? My final verdict is it depends. Alright, so what does it depend on? If you use a lot of black in your drawing, if you use thick lines, if you like to see a lot of beautiful black, and your painting has large areas of black, a lot of these black colors and a lot of shadows, then absolutely do please get it, because it is the blackest black I've ever seen. It is eye-catching. It's just attention-seeking black. I don't know if that's such a thing. During my test, or for the smudge test and a water resistance, I think it does dry fast enough to be smudge proof, and it's also water resistance in the submerge or like soaking test. But it does take a while for the ink to be fully resistant to scrubbing with brushes. So remember, if you're gonna ink and wash, give it a bit of time, be patient, wait a bit before you go in. Don't go back and like just scrub on the lines again, okay? Be gentle. If you're looking for a cheap black ink to line your sketches very quickly, I don't think you need to go to this one because it is so pricey. It's probably at least 3 times the price of the other cheaper waterproof black inks that we have in the market right now. So if you have like budget constraint, you don't really need to use a lot of black. Like you're always using like extra fine or fine nips and your lines are super thin and you don't really need to see a lot of black in your painting, then yeah, I think other blacks are okay. And on contrary to what we have like discussed previously on about having to wash this like in distilled water, I think it's okay to wash it in tap water as long as you do it fresh. Follow up with a bit of distilled water, like quickly flush off with the tap water, follow up with distilled water. And if you have distilled water, then yeah, just use it, since it's recommended by the manufacturer. But it's not a deal breaker, so if you are concerned about the washing part, I think it's not a big deal. It is not something that you will stop you if you really need to buy this ink. So okay, that's all. Like, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more art tips and reviews. Look out for a short bonus video on using this together with other art medium. All right, thank you. Bye bye.